Hey, everybody. Welcome to Soul Chats with Psychic Medium Dani Jo. I am flying solo tonight, so I'm excited to bring up a topic that is a common conversation I have with my clients, but also it ends up being a big majority of my own life as well. So if you're joining me, say hello. If you're catching the replay, I hope this resonates with you. But we're going to talk about a subject tonight that is spirit's timing. It is showing up very present in my life right now, spirit's timing. And there's a lot of different ways that we can respond to spirit's timing, because often we don't think that spirit's timing is our timing, but instead we should look at it as the right timing. So oftentimes we try so hard to force things, or we think we know what we want, or we even just get stubborn in thinking we know better. And so we prevent ourselves from being in the moment and understanding right where we need to be. And here's a very prominent story in my life right now. Most of you know that I own a store called Sacred Soul, and this is where we sell our metaphysical tools, crystals, jewelry, sage, tapestries, all the things. And Brooke and I had been talking a little bit about possibly taking our store strictly online and virtual. And I was pretty sure that that was something that we were going to do, and we had discussed it in depth about how we would make that jump this fall after we got my son moved and after we were able to enjoy the few warm months that we get here in South Dakota. And so it was kind of on the back burner that was probably going to be the plan, and we would wait and see how it all fell together. And less than 2 weeks later, I received a certified letter from my landlord stating that they were selling our building and my lease would be terminated May 31st. So I sat looking at that letter with my humanness thinking, what the hell? But ultimately, I read it 3 times, and the third time I read it, I understood Spirit was speaking to me and that we were going to do this in Spirit's timing and not my timing. And while I would much rather do it with what feels like a sense of some control, I also know that if they're bringing it to me right now, that this is what has to happen. They will make everything happen. And as long as I just go with the flow, everything's going to go smooth. And not for a little bit of stress that I know is going to happen. And I'm sure complications along the way, because we probably picked the busiest month of the year to potentially make this happen, but it's going to happen. And, my response to it was my years of understanding how spirituality works and how Spirit knows better than we do what needs to happen. Now, the old me, or the unhealed, unknowledgeable, spiritual knowledge, unknowledgeable person that I used to be, would have probably had a meltdown, been angry at the landlord, maybe even called and made a ruckus about it. And that would have been the old version of me who didn't understand that there was a plan that Spirit had for us. And I'm sure this resonates with many of you who are in that same boat often when things don't go the way that you think they should. And you get stuck thinking it's not what you want. But what I want you to realize is that Spirit knows what you need. And you need to be more focused on understanding when Spirit closes a door or speeds up your timeline, they're actually providing you with a better situation. Thanks, Trish. I appreciate that. So just know that, often Spirit's timing is not our own. Another subject where that applied to me greatly in life, and this is a subject that's really hard to talk about, but Rhett and I struggled with infertility for 3 years. And of course, my goal was I just wanted to be a mom. I just wanted to get pregnant. Why can't I have that? And I know there's a lot of infertility out there, so many of you understand this struggle. But what I know now is that everything was going to happen the way that it was supposed to happen in its own timing. And if we would have just let go of control of that and lived our life and been happy, we were still going to have kids. But instead, we lost 3 years of our life trying to achieve the one thing that was going to come eventually. And so we walked uphill when it was unnecessary. So just look at your areas of life where you're walking uphill unnecessarily and let yourself be in the flow of energy, and try not to hold on to control so much that you don't allow yourself to live and to be where Spirit wants you to be. So anybody that's listening to this live, if you have an area of life where this has affected you, post it in the comments, because I know that we all resonate with this in many ways. So yeah, the future for us is exciting. We are only seeing this as a positive. We know that our online presence is a strong one, and we love our clients. And even though we won't have the physical store to come in and touch everything, there will still be opportunities for catching us in person at different events and things like that. So for those of you that have had a positive response, we appreciate that, because the stress and everything is difficult, but we are very excited about what the future holds for us. So yeah, thanks, Juanita. I hope that resonated with you, and just let that sit on your heart for a little bit. And there's so many things, so many different ways it can apply to family members and coworkers and jobs and partners and our habits. And really, it's endless where we try to control things. But when we stop forcing and when we allow, we can be at peace. Like, I know that this is going to be one of the most challenging months of my life. For heaven's sakes, I turn 50 in a week. That alone, right? And then I have so many things on top of that. But I'm at peace. I feel calm. I know everything will happen and fall into place. And I trust Spirit so very much that this is what they know we need. So we're going to allow it and be right where we're supposed to be. I love that, Kathy. Absolutely. That's wonderful. Any questions tonight? I'd love to do a little Q&A if anybody has questions. Yeah, absolutely, a reset. It's kind of like a balance, a scale, because a little bit there's sadness of a door closing or something that feels a little bit like grief of something that we're losing essentially. But then there's this positive of like a new door and new opportunities and all these things. So as human beings, it's really hard to balance the both of those. Like, is it okay to feel sad? This excitement is coming, but we're saying goodbye to a physical store. It's okay to have both. It's okay to feel both. But ultimately, it's not sad because we're not going anywhere. We're going to be the same company and have the same great products. And honestly, you're going to get to see us more than you probably did before, because we'll be live more often. And I think it's just a turning point for our business to go in a different direction. Could there be a physical store in the future again? Maybe. I don't know what the future will hold, but I'm excited about where we're going for sure. Very much so. And I just committed to my new Spearfish in-person location. So we'll be posting that, I believe, on Thursday. So for those of you that like to come and see me in person, I will still have 2 days a week to do that. And my virtual clients can still book as well. And of course, Rapid City will always be there. So it's good stuff. One of the analogies that I like to give clients is that you feel like you're in control as much as like a kid or an adult in a bumper car is in control. You are holding that wheel and you're intent that you're driving that, but really that mechanical arm has all the control, right? You just don't realize it. And it's kind of like that with spirit, 100%. Oh, Corey, like I said, that it'll just be different, but not, we're not going anywhere. And honestly, we're going to still carry amazing merchandise, and you'll still get to see us at retreats and lots of different things. And if you're local, you will probably get to see Brooke because she'll be doing local deliveries, which will be fun. So yeah, her little bright face coming to your door. I'll be excited to see you this weekend. Stop in and say hi. Oh, we are going to be closed Saturday for Hunter's graduation. So if you want to stop in this weekend, let me know and we'll find a time for you to do that. Any questions anybody wants to ask? I had a lady ask me today. I was doing a session for her and talked to her about one of her children being a little more sensitive than the other to energy. And she asked me, could she be a psychic or a medium? And I said, yes, absolutely. We all are. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, we're all born with that ability. And I was a little bit surprised that that's not everybody's perception. So it's so common for me to know, like commonplace for me to talk about it, that I forget that some people, just have different perceptions. And everybody in the world is a spiritual being. We're all spiritual beings. So we're all born with intuition. And it's just the things that occur in life that allows us to close that down or shut it off and not focus on it. And I mean, just through teaching mediumship to my students, I have proven the fact that we are all mediums or psychics, because there's nobody that hasn't been able to make that connection to the other side. So when you think about that, just know that you possess all of those abilities and nobody can take that from you. It's just whether or not you put your energy towards that in this lifetime, whether or not it will grow and become stronger. Karen, we have quirky conversations on our lives, so we won't miss that. But I am excited for the changes. Yes, just one surprise after another. Deciding to move, an offer from my kids to move, and then an offer from my boss to stay. Oh gosh, that's exciting, Carmelie. The fate is tempting you, trying to make your decision on what's best for you. I love it. I love it. Well, next month, I believe, May is going to be a really busy time. So for those of you that book in with me, just have some patience with us as we navigate the new schedule, and know that I book 4 to 6 weeks out anyway. And so with all of these changes coming, it'll make things a little more complicated for a little bit until we figure out the new calendars. So instead of doing virtual and in-person clients every day that I work, There will be in-person clients on 2 days and virtual clients on 2 days. So it will limit the ability for you to get in you're just an in-person or a virtual client. But know that we're always willing to help you find a spot if you are struggling to get a time booked. But try to plan ahead and know that I'll still do groups and classes. My new location has an amazing boardroom that I can use to teach in. And you guys are going to love it. You will love the spot. Hey, Lynette. Hi, Linnell. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully that will be the right move for you. That's great. That's great. All right. What else do I want to share with you? Any questions? Anything you want to ask? Not Illinois. I ended up going with Doll Road. So Karen, I absolutely could do both in-person or virtual on all 4 days, but my goal is only to go into the in-person location 2 days a week so that I can work from home 2 days. Otherwise, I have to go to the in-person location all 4 days. So that would get complicated, and I'm hoping to just do 2 days in Spearfish and 2 days from home. If it doesn't work, we'll figure out a different plan, but that's going to be the plan for now. And yes, anybody that has a session booked, Brooke will be reaching out to you to switch you over to the new calendar and let you know where that's at. Oh yeah, you'll still have the option for in-person. Yep, so it'll be the same. You'll pick your appointment type, and then you'll pick the calendar, either virtual or Spearfish, just like you do now. And it'll show you the days and times that are open. Yep. Yes, I thank goodness for Brooke. I am not the best with technology, but I'm trying to get better and better as every day. But somehow I had opened the new calendar and had a mess of things. So Brooke got that figured out for me. And it looks like by Thursday, we should have the other clients that are already booked in moved over, and then the calendar will be ready to go. So June 7th, I will be in the new location. So I'll take the first 6 days of June to get that office ready. And June 7th, we'll get going with new clients. And yeah, I do believe we just had a conversation. Yes, true growth. Yes, thank you so much. I actually think it's going to be amazing for Brooke and Rhett because they'll get to see each other so much more now than they did before. And my dog is going to be super happy to have people around all the time. So my house will be happy and content. My dog will be happy and content. And my husband will be happy and content. And so will my daughter. It'll be a little more flexible for her with her schedule too. And we're going to have a great time doing more lives. So lots of good things coming. I appreciate you guys understanding all the changes that we're going through and your patience with that. And we love, love, love our Sacred Soul family. And we're always going to be here for you, just in a different capacity now. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I don't think that I'm going to keep you any longer, but I really want you to know that I thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And just know, if you're new to Sacred Soul, we have a website, sacredsoulllc.com. Also, to book in with me, psychicmediumdanijo.com. And if you haven't learned about our nonprofit, shirleyspeaksfoundation.com. It's an amazing organization. We work with domestic violence survivors. Thanks, Corey. Thanks. I'm very excited. It's going to be a good change. And I love the building we're in, but they are actually moving that physical building. And I'm not sure what they have planned for that commercial lot, but I'm sure something will go up there. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your night. Enjoy this beautiful weather and happy May. See you soon.